Pantheism of the Monarchs is at 3 now, and as a person that briefly played Monarchs, I'm glad it's off the list, but that don't mean I'm oblivious as to why it got limited in the first place. If you've ever played Monarchs post-Emperor Darkness, me saying Pantheism is the best spell shouldn't be considered hyperbole because at the time it was limited, Monarchs were nowhere to be found. Why is that? Don't even worry about it, I'll explain it to you.
Cause that's my job.
Ether and Erebus send Monarch spell and traps to the graveyard when tribute summon to do their thing. Pantheism has a graveyard effect. Hint, hint. So on top of what Ether and Erebus do, you get another card just by setting Pantheism with their effects. And since it doesn't place any restriction on what you can reveal, besides Monarch, you can literally reveal 3 of the same card. And it banishes itself from the graveyard so a dead can retrieve it when it's sent to the graveyard. And the draw effect can be activated multiple times a turn. And it's searchable with tenacity. That's not to say Ether, Erebus, Domain, Prime, and D and Idols didn't contribute because they did, but if you take Pantheism out of Monarchs or even Limited, which Konami did until just recently, Monarchs don't work properly, which was a smart decision at the time of the limit because all this was in the structure deck, so it cost very little for the player to have a good deck. A lot of people play Monarchs,
Including me.
and aside from the occasional bricking, it was good, perhaps too good for the very little money spent on it. Konami was fine with that initially, you know, selling product and all, but it got played too much, so they limited Pantheism and it hasn't seen played to that degree ever since. So what about now? We have Lightning Storm and Feather Duster, and at least one of those is going to be between the main and the side deck, so having Domain, Erupt, and or March to protect your Vanity's Fiend isn't as safe as it might have been previously. I know that's not going to stop people from playing Monarchs, but it's something you have to think about. Or not.
Side note.
I know I wasn't the only one that did this, I'm not special, but during my brief time of playing Monarchs, I played Mega Thessalos and Escalation, so instead of solely relying on Ether summoning Karaz for disruption, I could summon Mega Thessalos during my opponent's turn, look at their hand and take a card from it. It made Monarchs slightly less consistent, but when it worked, I'm just saying it's an option. Pantheism at 3 is nice and all, but the game environment has changed a little bit, and I guess the purpose of this video is to point that out along with highlighting how important Pantheism is to Monarchs. You could try and prove me wrong by not playing Pantheism, but playing Monarchs without Pantheism sounds, you know,
Retarded.
Thanks for watching. My Patreon's in the description if you happen to be feeling
Just a little bit.
generous and you would also like to
Help me.
any and all contributions, Patreon, PayPal, whatever is very much appreciated. Thank you. Discord server links in the description. Best way to contact me. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you.